It's Jay. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Muskogee Creek National Council Emergency Session. Today is Wednesday, September 13, 2023. The time now is 5 p.m. My name is Speaker William Lowe, and I call this meeting to order. At this time, I will go ahead and say our invocation for today's meeting. Thank you for this day. Thank you for giving us everything, Lord. We appreciate the rain you've given us this past week, Lord. Just be with all of our women and men that are serving our great country, Lord. Help us discuss and decide, make decisions for good business for our tribe, Lord. All these things I ask in your great name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, on to the roll call. Recording Secretary Alicia Strobel.
Speaker William Lowe.
Here.
Galen Cloud.
Here.
Mary Crawford.
Present.
Joyce Steer.
Present.
Patrick Freeman.
Here.
Sandra Golden. Present. Leonard Gouge.
Here.
Nelson Harjo. Joseph Hicks.
Here.
Randall Hicks.
Present.
Anna Marshall.
Present.
Charles McHenry.
Here.
Thomasina Hola Osborne. She's
Excused.
excused. Daryl Hector.
Here.
Mark Randolph.
Present.
Nelson Harjo.
Speaker Robert Huff here.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I got him down. Okay. Speaker, you have 14 present, 1 absent, and 1 excused.
15, 14. Say that one more time.
14
Okay.
present, 1 absent, 1 excused.
We have 14 present, 1 absent, 1 excused. That constitutes a quorum. Any business conducted this evening is valid. On to the order of business.
Speaker, I make a motion to go into executive session.
Representative Joseph Hicks makes a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Seconded by Representative Sandra Golden. Voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, we are going into executive session, and we will have the council, the chiefs, both chiefs and the AG's group. So everyone else will just put you in a waiting room. It will just be a couple of minutes. We will be right back. All right, everybody, we are now out of executive session. And I am on to order of business. TR 23-096, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending TR 19-076, a tribal resolution for the Muskogee Creek Nation to suspend all special appropriations and donations as amended by TR 20-150, TR 21-080, TR 22-128, TR 22-143, TR 22-150, TR 22-155, TR 22-170, TR 23-045, and TR 23-066. The sponsor is Representative Mark Randolph.
Motion to adopt.
Representative Mark Randolph makes a motion to adopt. Is there a second? Representative Mark Randolph made a motion to adopt TR 23-096. Is there a motion for second? Hearing no second, TR 23-096 has no action. Next item on the agenda, TR 23-097, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to enter into a tribal transportation program agreement with the United States Department of the Interior Bureau of Indian Affairs, sponsor Representative Joseph Hicks.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Representative Joseph Hicks makes a motion to adopt.
Second.
Seconded by Representative Sandra Golden. Discussion. Do we have any discussion?
Chief on here.
Chief Hill, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, sir. I think
Do you have-
Jesse, I think
Yes, sir.
Jesse,
Yeah. Speaker, this is Jesse Allen, and
Yes,
I have David Ford on the call
Okay.
as well as the manager of the Federal Roads Program.
yes, sir. David Ford, the floor is yours, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, this is just asking for authority for to enter into Nation Day.
Go ahead, David. Sorry.
Yes, this is just an agreement that we got to have with BIA before we, before any money transfers from them and anything. It's just first step in the process.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, David. We appreciate you. Do we have any comments, questions for Mr. Ford or this legislation?
Speaker,
Yes.
Representative Hicks, Randall.
Yes, sir.
Just curious, what was the emergency on this legislation? Was there a deadline or?
Yes, there was. We was told by BIA. We asked, they got it to us last Thursday, and they said every day is very critical on this. I don't know exactly why, but they actually wanted us to get it to them last week by the end of the week.
Okay, was there a due date on there? I didn't see one. Maybe I overlooked it.
They was not.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other last comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, excuse me, voice votes, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, TR 23-097 is adopted. NCA 23-101, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the expenditure of grant funds awarded from the United States Department of Labor for the benefit of the Veteran Affairs Service Office. Sponsored Representative William Lowe.
Speaker, make a motion to adopt.
Representative Joseph Hicks makes a motion to adopt. Seconded by Representative Sandra Golden. Discussion. Do we have Veterans Affairs on the line?
I believe there is a.
yes, sir. Speaker, this is Grover Wind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The floor is yours, Grover.
Okay, yes, this is for our stand down event, which is on the 22nd. We will have a stand down event and we'll have it at the Dome. And what this grant for is for us to be able to pay for a tent that we're utilizing also. And also we will be supplying food for the homeless veterans as they come through and supplying them with kits. There will also be some activities as even haircuts that we'll be able to give. But this is just a grant to help us pay for this. We'll be bringing the VA, a lot of the VA departments in. We're bringing our own health department in to be able to do benefits for them at the time. But again, it's also a clothing. We're also going to be able to supply them with some of the homeless veterans that supplies that they need.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any comments, questions, representatives? Comments or questions?
Question.
Yes, ma'am. Representative Golden.
Mr. Wynn, did you say where this event was gonna take place?
Yes, it's taking place at the Dome over by the ball fields. Is where it'll be taking place.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks,
Yes.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mark Randolph,
Yes.
Galen Cloud, Galen Cloud, Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Joyce Steer,
Yes.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 12 in favor, 0 against.
12 in favor, 0 against. NCA 23-101 is adopted. The next two, we can't.
You can address them, but that TR is gonna have to be readdressed.
Now, the next two pieces of legislation we will address. We can vote on them. But we'll have to readdress the resolution that didn't receive a second, the first one that we did.
TR 96.
So on with the order of business. NCA 23-102, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing a donation to the Society to Preserve Indigenous Rights and Indigenous Treaties Spirit organization to financially assist with the 2023 Okmulgee Indigenous Peoples Day. Sponsor is Representative Mark Randolph.
Motion to adopt.
Representative Mark Randolph makes a motion to adopt.
Second, Robert Huff.
Seconded by Second Speaker Robert Huff. Discussion. Do we have any discussion?
Speaker,
Yes, sir.
could we give Ms. Golden some time to talk on this, please?
Certainly. Brenda Golden, are you on the line, ma'am?
Good evening, Speaker. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am on the line. Thank
All right.
you for considering this legislation. This is going to be our 6th annual Indigenous Peoples Day in Okmulgee that has grown exponentially. To last year, there were over 500 participants that attended. We had community vans from Okfuskee, Okemah, Sapulpa Creek, Indian community, Shakota, Muskogee, and Eufaula was on their way, but they got scared by the rain. And so it's turned into a great community event where we just share and laughter and food. And we are appreciative that we received $1,500 last year from council. As you may know, prices of food and goods have almost tripled. So that's why we've asked for a little more this year, but we're appreciative of any support you can give. We have met with Siobhan Aji and I'm trying to think from the other Lady Legends again are in support of preparing the traditional foods that everybody looks forward to. That's part of why this is a success, is because of the traditional foods and the sharing. And so if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer if I am able.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Golden. Council representatives, do we have any comments or questions?
I have a question.
Speaker.
Stand by Representative Sandy Golden's first, then we'll get you next, ma'am. Representative Golden.
Thank you, sir. I guess when she talked about this, she said that last time I think the council gave 1,500 and they gave it to the Lady Legends, and this year it's 5,000. And I see in here t-shirts, you know, which I think is a good idea, but that makes it over 2,000, which is what we're considering for all of the programs like this. And also there was a question last year that it was the monies would be made payable to the individual. And so if this is SPIRIT and then it's Lady Legends, something doesn't say how this money is going to go to the program.
Mhm.
So that's the question that I have.
And, oh.
If I may, last year, the check was made out to Brenda Golden individually. Lady Legends asked to be the lead on asking for, that was just for the food. And this year we have expanded the request, as you see, a little more than just the food and the serving. And we accounted for every penny last year, every penny, down to the penny. And even more, spent more than what was accounted for. And again, that check was made out in my name specifically to me.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure, but I think it was changed. But the other part of this is we just passed legislation last month that said that anybody that was over 2,000, which is the special appropriation, that they had to, we had the right to ask for financial information based on that organization. And I was just wondering if that was done by the sponsor.
Representative Randolph, can you answer that, sir? Did you hear that question?
Yes, sir. The legislation states that the committee that it goes to, they have the option to ask for it or not. So it didn't happen because this didn't come through committee, come through an emergency meeting. Thank you.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Kyle, if the legislation states the committee, would it serve as a committee as a whole for the emergency session?
It's an interesting question because it would be an avenue to always avoid it going through committee if we were to do it under an emergency session each time. Essentially, it would be creating an exception.
It seems to me where it has jurisdiction.
Right. Well, I guess, Speaker, the question that's going through my mind then is this an emergency or not that we really want it going around the committee that does have jurisdiction over the issue. I'm not trying to be evasive. I'm just saying it's problematic if we always raise the issues through an emergency setting rather than through the individualized committees that have the jurisdictional assignments. I guess I would have to say if you have all of your council members present, that would make up ultimately that the matter would go to. It probably is a legitimate exception. It's just one we haven't addressed.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments, questions?
Yes, Steve.
Yes.
When exactly is this being held?
The date on the event, please.
October 9th, 2023, the first Monday of the month.
Okay.
Will didn't even recognize. He does me that way all the time.
So could we possibly get this put onto the committee before added to the committee's agenda?
Yeah.
In other business?
Representative Randolph, would we have the option of, would you be willing to put it through the committee this month? Or do we need to?
Speaker, you know, I've never seen this happen before, so I really don't know how to answer that. I am kind of wondering what financials is Mrs. Sandy Golden speaking to when she says financials. I mean, before, like when I wrote the legislation, it was for communities, it was for, you know, organizations, different things that come. I don't know if she wants, what specifically would she like to see would be my question. I mean, before we had to take it through committee or do whatever. Sure. Thank you.
Sandy, do you mind answering that, ma'am?
Well, when this legislation that said that for specific organizations that are requesting money, there's levels of programs for each level, but they're only allowed $2,000. And if it's more than that, you know, the committees or the council can ask for their financials that they have for this organization that's receiving the funds. And last year, like I said, I think we changed the payable person. And because of the person that was requesting the funds wasn't for the lady, wasn't a lady legend or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And so there was a problem with that. And I'm just interested in making it, make sure that we're going by the rules and that we're not doing any special thing, because that's what that legislation was about.
Yes, ma'am. Understood. Thank you. For the record, I do see NCA 22-106, the organization accountability was paid to Ms. Rosanna Bear that the Treasury paid to. So just for the records and the minutes, just wanted to make that. And Representative Randolph, did you hear Ms. Golden just saying she was abiding by the legislation content of that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you have any
Speaker.
comments, questions? I guess ultimately,
Speaker.
yes.
If we vote on this, I mean, you don't have a funding source. You were going to use TR 096 to use the funding source, correct? For
Yes, sir. Yeah,
102.
that's correct. That will have to be readdressed, and if it doesn't receive a second, then
That was going to be my next comment. TR 23096 can't be readdressed this evening. If you were going to readdress it, it had to be, or it should have been readdressed before TR 23097, the next piece of legislation. If I understand it correct, Kyle, we might ask Kyle on that, sir.
That is my understanding.
right.
You can readdress any legislation before the meeting's over because there was no action taken on it.
Mhm.
So it can be readdressed.
So I thought that there had to be. Well, I guess that's interesting.
Yeah, there was no second, so it didn't fail.
Yeah.
So it can be readdressed.
Kyle, do you want to make that comment?
No, I can't disagree with what Alicia is saying, and seems that we seem to be having some novel issues raised that are coming up tonight. But I mean, she's right. She's saying that it didn't fail on its face. It just didn't have a second. So it wouldn't require coming up on another. So it wouldn't require change. Wouldn't require coming up on a later date. I don't want to speak. I think that the rules probably would on the vague side, so it probably doesn't make any difference in all likelihood. Since it didn't receive a second, it probably is not fatal if it is readdressed. If somebody now wants to raise it as a second after we proceed on with this.
Yes, sir. Representative Randolph, did you hear that, sir?
I couldn't hear him real well.
Representative Hicks, did you hear that from Kyle about readdressing the first piece of legislation?
Somewhat, but the way I understand it is it died for lack of a second.
It should die.
Since it didn't receive any action or a second, there was no action taken. So it technically didn't fail tonight yet.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
I mean, I'm not against 102 or 105, but I can't support because I don't feel like that's right.
Yes,
I think it shouldn't have been readdressed, or
Yes,
it
sir.
should not be readdressed. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Any other comments, questions?
I have a question, Speaker. So
Yes,
are you
sir.
saying we can readdress it or we can't?
We can readdress TR 23-096 because it did not receive a second and there was no action taken. So technically it did not fail tonight yet.
And so we can readdress that after the NCA 23017.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Speaker.
Yes, sir. And everybody on the council, this will need a 2/3 vote since we're waiving, since it's a waiver. Representative Golden.
Yes, in the letter, for the SPIRIT, it says that Brenda Golden is the founder of this,
Okay.
program.
Mhm.
And it said, I am requesting an appropriation as the founder and leader of this society to preserve indigenous rights and indigenous treaties due to the declination of the Muskogee Lady Legends to do so. So they're going to do the work, but they didn't want to ask for the monies. Is that why this is in here?
Ms. Brenda Golden, did you hear the question, ma'am? Ms. Brenda Golden, are you still with us?
Oh, I was speaking and hadn't turned on my speaker. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Yes, ma'am. Floor is yours.
The Lady Legends voted as a whole to support this effort wholeheartedly, but they declined to approach National Council due to some political discord right now. They didn't want to approach the council due to that conflict. And so there was nothing I could do to convince them otherwise.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Ms. Representative Golden. Thank you. Okay, all right. So Representative Hicks, Joseph Hicks.
You know, I like that this goes on every year. You know, I think it's a great event. But, you know, my only problem with it is, you know, it exceeds the 2,000 that everyone else is able to get. So with that being said, you know, I can't support it at being 5,000. If it was at 2,000, I could support it, but not at 5,000. That's it.
Thank you, Representative Hicks. Last
So
comment.
we'd be very appreciative of 2,000 if it could be amended. I'd greatly appreciate that.
Representative
Speaker.
Randolph. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that? Do you want to consider?
Can they hear each other?
Yeah, when it's on the floor, I'll be glad to.
Okay, you want to make that motion, sir, to revise to 2,000?
Yeah, I'd like to make an amendment to revise from 5,000 to 2,000.
Yes, sir. Representative Mark Randolph makes a motion to revise the amount from 5,000 to 2,000. Is there a second?
I'll second. Charles McHenry.
Representative Charles McHenry seconds the motion. Voice vote, or excuse me, we'll do roll call vote. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph,
Yes.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Joyce Steer,
No.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden,
Abstain.
Leonard Gouge,
No.
Nelson Harge, sorry, Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
This is on amendment.
Randall Hicks,
Abstain.
Robert Huft,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
No.
Speaker, we have 7 in favor, 3 against, and 2 to abstain.
7 in favor, 3 against, 2 abstentions. The amendment to 2,000 passes. Now, back to the main motion. Back to the main motion. Again, now that we're at 2,000, a majority vote passes. Correct, Alicia?
Yes.
So we do not any longer need 2/3. Any more discussion, council representatives?
Speaker,
Yes, sir.
that's Representative Randall Hicks.
Yes, sir.
Again, I know it's pertaining to TR 23096. I don't know if I should wait to address it or address it now since it's been brought up. But can I ask Attorney Kyle a question?
Oh, yes, sir, you can.
So if TR 23096 was voted on or didn't receive a motion, a second motion, then it failed, technically failed, correct?
You know, initially I would agree with you, because when I put in my notes, it failed, but the answer is no, it didn't fail, it just did not receive.
There was no action taken.
Maybe I'm not seeing it right, but to me, if there was no action, it failed.
No, it would still be on an agenda next time because it's still out there. It only fails if more people vote against it versus for it.
Yeah, and I apologize, I was looking at an email that April had shown to me, because that's actually, it's kind of in line with what I was thinking initially, that it would have to be brought back up later with some modifications, but it didn't fail, it just didn't receive a second, so no action was taken. I mean, you're asking for it to be heard, that is my opinion, as we said today, and of course, I haven't had a chance to research it, and I'm looking at that brought my attention.
But then if you was going to readdress it, it should have been readdressed before TR 097.
No. As long as it's readdressed before the end of the meeting, then we're good.
And I have to agree, yes.
Oh.
Speaker, I have a question.
Stand by, sir. Representative Hicks,
Yeah, thank you, sir.
are you good to go, sir?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
Troublesome as it is, understand. Yes, sir. Representative Gouge, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I kind of agree with Mr. Hicks, where it appears we're trying to move forward without the authorization that 23-096 wasn't approved.
Mhm.
So we're acting without authority, I'm thinking.
Right, once we make a vote on this, we can readdress 23096. I was gonna wait till we got through the agenda and then readdress it. But I can make that the very next one, since we already have a motion on the floor. We'll close this legislation out and then move back up to the top.
I understand. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any other comments, questions?
We already got the authority.
Roll call vote, please.
Will is proven candidate. Weak.
Okay. Mark Randolph,
Yes.
Mary Crawford,
Yeah.
Joyce Steer,
No.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden,
Abstain.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks,
No.
Robert Huft,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
No.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
No.
Speaker, you have 7 in favor, 4 against, and 1 to abstain.
7 in favor, 4 against, 1 abstention. NCA 23-102 is adopted. Back to the top of the agenda, TR 23-096, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee.
Someone needs to make a motion to readdress.
Do I have a motion to readdress TR 23-096?
Speaker, I make a motion that we address TR 23-096.
Yes, sir.
Readdress, please. Thank you.
Representative Mark Randolph makes a motion to readdress TR 23-096. Is there a second?
Second.
Representative Charles McHenry seconds the motion to readdress 23-096. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph,
Yes.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Joyce Steer,
No.
Patrick Freeman,
No.
Sandra Golden,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks, Randall Hicks,
No.
Robert Huft,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
No.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Daryl Proctor.
No.
Stick, you have 7 in favor, 5 against.
7 in favor, 5 against. We will readdress 23-096. TR 23-096. A tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending TR 19-076. A tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation to suspend all special appropriations and donations as amended by TR 20-150, TR 21-080, TR 22-128, TR 22-143, TR 22-150, TR 22-155, TR 22-170, TR 23-045, and TR 23-066. Sponsor is Representative Mark Randolph.
Motion to adopt.
Representative Mark Randolph makes a motion to adopt,
Second.
seconded by Representative Charles McHenry. Discussion. Do we have any discussion?
Speaker,
Yes.
I'd like to know what the funding source is.
Controller, are you on the line, ma'am?
This is the T.
Yes, I am, Speaker.
The TR that we just addressed, for the spirit,
Would be 97, yeah.
for 23-102, what would be the funding source, ma'am?
Interest on permanent fund.
Interest on permanent fund. Thank you so much. Representative
Thank you,
Gaddis.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph,
Yes.
it's like. I don't know. I was on the right one. No, I got it. Mark, Mary Crawford,
Yeah. Speaker?
Representative Marshall, yes.
Yes. What are we voting on this time?
We are voting to pass TR 23-096.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Joyce Deere,
No.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks,
No.
Robert Huft,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
No.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Daryl Proctor.
No.
Speaker, you have 8 in favor, 4 against.
8 in favor, 4 against. TR 23-096 is adopted. On to NCA 23-105, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing a donation to Muskogee, Oklahoma Native American Association, MONA, to assist with the 2023 Muskogee Indigenous Peoples Day. Sponsor, Representative Mary Crawford.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Representative Mary Crawford makes a motion to adopt,
Second.
seconded by
Randolph.
Representative Mark Randolph. Discussion. Do we have any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Representative Hicks, sorry.
Mary, when is this gonna be taking place?
On October the 9th.
Oh. Okay, I'm
And
sorry.
if you'll see the attached budget that the chairperson sent in.
Okay, I apologize, I didn't look far enough. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Representative Crawford. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll
Speaker.
call vote. Oh, excuse me. Who was that?
It's Representative Randall Hicks.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I can't support it just because the way it was addressed. So I just want that to be known. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank you, sir. Any other discussion, council representatives? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Joyce Steer,
No.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks,
No.
Robert Huft,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
No.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Yes.
Daryl Proctor,
No.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 8 in favor, 4 against.
8 in favor, 4 against. NCA 23-105 is adopted. NCA 23-106. Excuse me, Controller, can we have the funding source, ma'am?
Interest on permanent fund.
Interest on permanent fund. Thank you so much. Next item on the agenda, NCA 23-106, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the expenditure of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families, Tribal Child Support Enforcement Program grant, and appropriating tribal funds for the tribal match for the benefit of the Muskogee Creek Nation Office of Child Support. Sponsor, Representative Mark Randolph.
Motion to adopt.
Representative Mark Randolph makes a motion to adopt.
Second, Representative Hicks.
Seconded by Representative Randall Hicks. Discussion. Do we have any discussion?
Speaker, can we give some time to Miss Linda Buck, please?
Yes. Linda, are you online, ma'am?
It's April Buck.
April Buck. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
I apologize.
That's okay. This is just our annual budget that we're asking for approval for. We're asking for appropriations of $102,996. And it has to be passed by October 1st because that's when our new fiscal year begins.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Any
Thank you.
comments, questions, council representatives? Representative Golden.
Excuse me, but Ms. Buck, what amount did you say?
We're asking for tribal appropriations of $102,996.
And this is the match for the 2 million.
Yes.
You good? Okay, thank you, Representative Golden. Thank you, April. Any other comments, questions? Last call, comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Joyce Steer,
Yes.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks,
Yes.
Robert Huft,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Speaker, you have 12 in favor, 0 against.
12 in favor, 0 against. NCA 23-106 is adopted. Controller, may we please have a funding source, ma'am?
Yes, it will be gaming.
Gaming will be the funding source. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Last item on the agenda, NCA 23-107, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation approving the comprehensive annual budget for the fiscal year 2024 and providing for appropriations. Sponsor Representative William Lowe.
Speaker, make a motion to adopt.
Representative Joseph Hicks makes a motion to adopt,
Second, Randolph.
seconded by Representative Mark Randolph. Discussion. Do we have any discussion? Controller, would you like to speak, ma'am?
Yes, this is all of the budgets that went through committees, and then it's assigning the funding sources for those budgets.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Chief Hill, would you like to make any comments, sir?
No, sir. I think Patricia explained it well. Thank
All
you.
right, Thank you, Chief. Greatly appreciate you, sir. Council representatives, do we have any comments, questions? Representative Golden.
I guess I have a comment and maybe a question, I'm not sure. But when at the committee level, when we were reviewing the budgets, we were handed these at the last minute. And the reason I understand that they were changed and they were handed to us at the last minute is because of the proposed idea that we're probably, our indirect cost rate is going to go up to 26%. And then there were also some raises in there for certain people. And so in my mind, I wasn't sure if it was performance-based or if certain people, because they were secretaries or because they were high managers, that they were just getting an automatic raise. So I had some serious questions about that. In addition to the fact that we had not received the audits, and we don't really know how much money we really do have. And we just haven't been in the loop, in my understanding. And so I'm not supporting this budget at all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Representative Golden. Any other comments, questions?
Speaker.
Representative Joseph Hicks.
Controller, would you like to speak on that?
I believe the budgets came over ahead of time for everybody to be able to look at. The only change that we did make is because we were waiting on the indirect cost proposal. We put an estimation in there to begin with, and then they came back and had adjusted that to the 26%. So that was the only, I think, change that we had at the time. And for the most part, there was a 4% put in to that, in which was stated on the budgets, 4% put in to be able to use based upon evaluations. I do believe some of them did discuss when we had budget hearings with the executive staff, if there was any that would have a raise that would not be reflected in the 4%. So if they did get a raise, they were not listed in the 4%.
Good to go, Representative Hicks.
Chief, do you have any comments on this as well?
No, Patricia pretty much answered that, especially on the raise. And like I said, I feel it was presented in plenty of time other than the indirect cost, but that shouldn't affect overall the rest of the numbers that was in there for salary and different things like that. That's all I have.
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, Chief. Any other comments, questions? Roll call vote, please.
Joseph Hicks,
Who was that, please?
Representative Proctor.
Yes, sir. Representative Proctor.
Just a question. I know I don't know if it's been asked or anything. Is this considered a balanced budget? I know they may not be able to answer it at this time because of carryover and all that, but so will everything, our total revenues be equal to what we're planning to spend? Basically, is the question I'm asking.
Go ahead, Controller.
Yes, okay. Yes, that's what the recap was applied for. It shows what the funding that we would receive from distributions that we collected in 23 goes to the 24 budget. And then I have to estimate the actual carryover because we still have expenditures coming in, but for the largest category, I mean, we had plenty of carryover money in that particular fund.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Controller. Thank you, Representative Proctor. Last call, comments, questions. Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Robert Huff.
Yes.
Anna Marshall.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Joyce Steer.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Sandra Golden.
No.
Leonard Gouge.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 11 in favor, 1 against.
11 in favor, 1 against. NCA 23-107 is adopted. That concludes our order of business. On to announcements. Do we have any announcements, council representatives? Hearing no announcements, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Hey,
Representative Joseph Hicks makes a motion to adjourn.
Speaker,
Yes.
this is Second Chief.
Yes, sir.
Before we adjourn, I just wanted to say I appreciate the National Council, going through the budget hearings. I was talking with Whitney earlier today, and this is only the second time within the last 9 or 10 years that the nation did not have to do a continuing resolution. The first time since either 2018, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say I do appreciate the National Council with the budget process. I appreciate Tricia and her staff working overtime and with all the other things going on, and our employees doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I think everybody should be proud of the nation of getting this budget in on time and moving forward. So,
Yes, sir. Second Chief, thank you so much. Great words. I agree. Thank you all for everything you all done. Right now, we have a motion. So Representative Golden.
I also want to say thank you, and I appreciate very much for the National Council staff. Because they never get attention or appreciated because they have to get these things at the last minute, and they have to be ready for these meetings for the council members. And I know that some of these things came in at 1 o'clock, and our meeting was at 1 o'clock. And even one of our staff was accused of not getting, they'd send it to her, but she didn't get it. And so, we just need to say that we appreciate all of the people that were involved in getting this done.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it really, I could see it when I was here. So I just wanted to say that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Well said, Representative Golden. Thank you. Greatly appreciate everyone and your help. On to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn from Representative Joseph Hicks. And I'm sorry, I did not hear the second, if somebody said that.
Second.
Seconded by Representative, is that Mary Crawford?
Anna Marshall.
Anna Marshall seconds the motion. Voice vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, we are adjourned. I would like to ask Representative Darrell Proctor for our benediction, please, which will serve as our adjournment. Representative Proctor, would you like to say our benediction, please? Representative Joseph Hicks, could you say our benediction, please?
Yes, Greater Lord, we come to you and thank you for letting us all be able to gather here tonight and do the business of the nation. Lord, again, as a speaker said earlier, we just ask for protection over all of our men and women serving our country, and we ask for all of our frontline workers, just protection over them as well, Lord, and just even over our families and our nation as a whole. Lord, just as we leave here tonight, just give us safe travels home and just be with us all and keep us all safe and protected. Amen.
Amen. Mado Representative Hicks, we are adjourned at 6:13 PM. Mado, everyone.